something smells good. Let's see what Kickstarters are cooking in the oven for this Kickstarter for the week of November 19th, 2018. We're back with another big board game with lots of minis based on a video game property. Assassin's Creed Brotherhood of Venice is based on the Ezio storyline of the Assassin's Creed series. In it, you'll be playing as Ezio and other assassins through multiple missions, trying to make sure you reach enough memory progress in order to reach the next mission. This is sort of each envelope do a mission. You'll have different tasks to try to do. Of course, there's also a stealth aspect. There's being able to kill people silently, or maybe just kill everyone as quickly as you can. In between each mission, you'll be able to level up and sort of upgrade your character. This otherwise does have a lot of the Assassin's Creed ideas, a lot of minis. It looks like all the characters we recognize from before. This, of course, is going to make us harken back to Horizon Zero Dawn, which we were a little lukewarm on.
It's a Kickstarter, at least, not the
Kickstarter.
game.
Yeah, as a Kickstarter. Speaking strictly on the Kickstarter. And just like Horizon Zero Dawn, I think we both were fans of at least Ezio's Assassin's Creed run.
Yeah.
I think most people are.
Yeah.
That's definitely, I think, one of the, and I will say the way this works, I think with the missions, it looks a little bit better. And you actually can sort of just barely, or not barely, but just beat the mission or the memory, or you can 100% it just like in the game by doing, maybe making sure you kill everyone or don't get spotted. In which you actually get trophies, they say you can show off to your friends after the campaign. Which is a little cool, I guess, and you could be like, this is what we achieved, see what you can do better.
Yeah, there were some things I liked about it. Apparently, it's also based on another game they did, V Commandos.
Yeah, Triton Noir, they did V Commandos before, and apparently they have people from Ubisoft that work for them now, so...
Right.
They were like most of their video is, we are working with the original people. They wanted to make that very clear.
Which is cool, and I do like that it's focused on stealth, because I feel like you could very easily screw up by just making an Assassin's Creed game there you just fight and doesn't really get the games as much.
I will say I find that a little funny, because I think a lot of people are awarding, or like, Origins and Odyssey, the newest ones, because stealth isn't as big of a thing.
That's an entire other discussion.
Yes,
I may not agree with.
I like the way the stealth works too, because when you, like, they showed an example, when you climb a building, they can't see you anymore. So the base, which shows you've been spotted, stays where it is, so you can run away. So they go investigate where you were, in essence, last seen.
Yeah. Now, the thing that is not so great about that is that if you move into a space with guys, you roll a die to find out if they saw you or not, which doesn't feel very thematic. It's like, well, there's no way I could, like, I mean, maybe there's items that will be, oh, this cloaks you so you don't have to roll the die or something, but that's a little lame. But it is neat, just like, oh, you go to a tower and you can use your synchronized thing to actually look around, just like the game, and you see new items. So I like the potential, but when you're looking at a $120 minis game that doesn't come out until 2020, I think is the date, or maybe it was like a far time in the future, as was Horizon Zero Dawn. It's like I'm not going to back this, because it doesn't. Who knows where I'm going to be when the game even comes out. Not too long ago, Van Ryder Games had a Kickstarter for their series of graphic novel adventure books, choose your own adventure books in comic form, and now they're coming out with their newest addition to that series, the Crusoe Crew, which is actually a co-op game for 1 to 4 players. So in the story of this game, you play as the children of Robinson Crusoe himself, and he is sick, so you have been tasked with finding treasures because one of Robinson Crusoe's old friends wants help finding treasures. The story's a little loose. It's a very lighthearted, goofy-looking thing, but the way it works is each player actually has their own comic book, and you will start out looking at the same panels, and you read them together individually, and for the most part, you're looking at and reading the same text and the same images, but each character has little differences. So for instance, there's one character who can speak to animals, and they might have something in their book that says, go to this panel and you can talk to this squirrel, that nobody else has. And then they'll say to everybody else, hey, this squirrel told me that there's a secret passage here, and we can go in there. And someone else might say, oh, but my book has this, and maybe there's different paths. You have to decide which one's the best one to take. And as you play, there is a map with different islands. You can choose which ones to explore. explore, and you can go back to the islands and try to find a bunch of treasures, and you have character sheets, and you mark down your inventory and all that kind of good stuff. Real big fan of what I think I've played of the original graphic novel adventures, and the concept of doing it with up to 4 players sounds so fun. And you could even just do it, as I said, solo mode if you wanted to, just play it by yourself.
What's also really cool is if playing the one I've played, there were like a panel, and maybe you saw a fishing hook in the snow. It didn't have a number or anything. It's just you can write it down to add an inventory. Maybe certain panels will only my book will show the coin or the key sticking out of the sand or something, because maybe only my character happened to see it. So it does sound like you can have a lot of fun with different people being like, all right, what do you see on your panel?
Yeah.
And I've enjoyed that one. And so the idea of doing this like with someone else could be really fun.
Yeah, it sounds like a great thing to do, like if you have a few kids and you're on a trip, like in the back of a car or something, or if you're on an airplane or a bus, just everyone just crack open a book. Like you don't need a table, although there is a map and you can write things down. But
telling kids to crack open a book, I don't think they're going to accept that.
No, there's pictures in it, kids. Look, you can pick it up. It just goes for $35, and it's the Crusoe Crew.
White Wizard Games is growing their Hero Realms series with the new expansion, Hero Realm Journeys. If you don't know, Hero Realms is a game where you can either play against each other in PvP or in a campaign together. Each set sort of comes with a big villain boss and things you can grow as. You can play as a ranger, wizard, cleric. It uses the same system from their Star Realm games, if you haven't played that. Pretty much very simple of combining cards and getting the same symbols to grow and get increased power. Journey adds some new bosses as well as playing as races. So if you wanted to play as that elf wizard you've always dreamed about, you can do that now. So that's pretty cool that they've added races in that to really capture more of the role-playing like D&D style of making your character. And of course, more cards in any kind of deck building thing is always good. There's so many different pledge levels for pricing depending on whether you're new or returning or want to get all the promos and stuff, So check the Kickstarter to see what level you would thinking of pledging at. I think they're around like $30 generally.
I think I saw like 20 to 40 depending on how much you're getting. And I have always dreamed of being an elf wizard. So this is right up my alley.
I knew that was your secret dream.
Grindhouse is a new storytelling game from Everything Epic Games. You, as the players, have received an invitation from a mysterious host, and you have been challenged to spend 12 hours in a haunted house. If you do and you survive, you'll receive $10 million. This is a pretty simple setup. You will go throughout a house exploring different rooms, each room represented by just a card on a board, and there will be 5 in total. The final room will be kind of your final boss room, which will have a little more higher stakes, a more intense encounter. And on the back of each card will be some text, and whoever's exploring the room reads it, and they will often have to make a choice or a decision, and often those decisions could harm other players. You might have to choose someone to attempt to do something, but it will certainly result in a frightening, terrifying, bad end for them. Everyone has their own character, and your characters can be injured, and you actually have very specific injuries. You can lose your limbs, and there are different cards you overlay on top of your character sheet to denote that you are now missing an arm, for example, or maybe your arm was just chopped in half. And you can die in the game, and if you die, you become a ghost, and as a ghost, you can actually continue to play. You may have another objective, and you may still be able to win, potentially even by harming the other players, sort of becoming a traitor as you go. So it's a very interesting looking game. It's only, they say, like 20 to 40 minutes, so it's a faster paced kind of game, and it's a very simple setup. There's no board you're exploring. It's literally, there's just a place to put the cards, you flip them over, and you read them. There's some dice rolling. That's like basically what they think the central thrust of the gameplay is make a choice and then roll a die to see kind of what happens. But kind of a cool theme, and it's also a much more pared down title compared to most of the things we see from Everything Epic.
That's true, but if we look at their other stuff, we can also realize with the stuff we'd want to see in this game, that we'd be worried about pretty much like the rooms and the story, and they can do pretty well. In Secrets of the Lost Tomb, we saw each of the rooms felt very flavorful and finding unique artifacts in there that made sense for the room, including the scenarios of really cool finding like different clues and stuff in order to stop whatever the horrible thing was in the temple. We looked at their Big Trouble in Little China, and that was really fun when they came up with somehow all this weird stuff that's not in the movie.
Yeah.
That felt really fun. So and they have more games that are currently already coming out now. I just got another one of theirs. They've got the mental hospital one that's coming out soon. We'll see how those are. So I'm definitely probably going to back this because it just sounds awesome.
It sounds fun. It looks cool. It's got that narrative thing, if you like that. It also kind of sounds like, if you like sort of the theme of Betrayal at House on the Hill, but you don't feel like setting it up or you just don't like that game, you could just play a shorter version instead. It goes for just about $39.
And if you're lucky, you may win $10 million.
That's right.
Finally, we have an accessory for you for all those who've backed a lot of Kickstarters, which probably means you have a lot of minis. The Sergeant 2.0 from Portable Warfare is a bag that's designed to really help carry a lot of your mini games or miniatures. The bag itself has like pockets for dice, for zippers, for pencils, and of course for all your foam layer minis. And what's really awesome is if you get multiple bags, it can actually sort of clip up underneath each other. Makes it look very easy to carry around. The stretch goals are colors. I don't think, as of this recording, I don't know which ones they've hit yet, so you'll have to check. And if you look at the comment section, some people said, like, I'm not as big with the logo. And they said they're already working on making one that has just a logo for the box, not for their company. So in case that's a big thing for you, they've taken care of that. And there is even a luggage tag. So in case you want to bring this on the airplane and make sure everyone knows that it's yours, they already have a little place there for that. Small thing goes for in terms of compared to all the other stuff, it's just a bag for $49. But I thought it was cool, and I did think it was worth mentioning because at this point we're like, if there's Kickstarter, there's minis.
Yeah, they should add this on to everything with a mini. You're like, hey, check out this.
It's a constant Kickstarter, even like not in board games. Like you go cooking and you're like, add this bag.
Yeah, and I know, if you're one of those people who plays X-Wing or HeroClix or whatever, they find creative ways to lug around all those different ships and things to tournaments and stuff. So
those are our Kickstarter picks. We've got the Assassin's Creed, which I'm definitely curious to hear about whether you're going to back or not. We think it looks a little bit more true to the property, at least in gameplay style. But once again, big game with lots of minis that isn't coming out for quite some time.
Yeah, but Crusoe Crew and Grindhouse, I'm pretty amped for.
Yeah, I mean, cool. Both heavy story games are definitely always things that we're like, we're listening.
Yeah, let us know what you're amped for, people.
If there's any Kickstarters that we forgot, let us know in the comments down below. Or, of course, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. We're everywhere. Back us now. We come with minis. But until then, I'm Will.
I'm Jonathan.
And this is Kickstarter Pickstarter.
Don't forget to click that like button and, of course, subscribe for even more excellent videos.
I subscribed and now I'm rich.